The ultimate vision is that sustainable design is equivalent to good design, and the language around sustainability just goes away, and what we're talking about is good design. Given that our tools are being used everywhere in the world, there is an incredible opportunity to leverage these same tools to help make the world better and to redesign the future of the built environment on the planet. So specifically around sustainable design, the big opportunity that we see is to embed the ecological intelligence into the design software. So quite literally, architects, engineers, and designers wouldn't need to be experts in energy, materials, or water because the software connects them with that expertise and frees them up to focus on creativity and design in the part that they love best. Autodesk also has a big business in the media and entertainment space. So game, films, TV, and what you're seeing now is some of that technology being used in the architecture and manufacturing space to help visualize impacts of a particular design early in the design process. Today, architects, engineers, designers are able to build 3D models, a digital prototype of whatever it is that they're designing. And with a 3D model, they can now test and explore their ideas digitally, understanding the different impacts early in the design process. You know, I've never met an engineer or an architect who designed something specifically that would consume excessive amounts of energy or damage ecosystems or create negative impacts. They simply didn't have access to the right information at the right time in the design process to understand what their impacts and consequences of their decisions were going to be. Let me give you a specific example. We have a tool called Eco Materials Advisor, which is a feature in our regular manufacturing design suite that is connecting our users to the largest material database in the world right now. So while you're in the design environment, you can get information about materials and their impacts. Harmful materials are flagged, alternatives are proposed, and using simple red and green bars, the user can understand the impact of a particular material choice in that design. So that gets fun, and that's where it gets really easy to make better decisions throughout the design process, in this example around materials. It's not just the environmental impact. That tool in particular balances the environmental impact with other factors like cost, manufacturability, performance, so that you can see the relative trade-offs in the design environment. It's not just the manufacturing space, the example we just talked about, but also buildings. And if you think of buildings, 40% of global energy use is from buildings. And so architects and engineers have the same ability to build a 3D model of a building, we call it a building information model, and understand not only how that building will look, but also how it will perform and how much energy it will consume. So by rotating a building on a particular site or changing the shape of that building, you can quickly understand how that impacts the energy of that building long before you get to the point of choosing windows, insulation, shading, and those other factors and criteria. So the technology historically has been targeting professionals, professional engineers, designers, architects. Now increasingly the user base is expanding. So for example, in the building context, it's not just new construction, but it's also improving the existing building stock on the planet. So the 200 million buildings globally that are candidates for renovation retrofit. And so now a building owner or a facility manager can quickly understand, using these technologies, the relative opportunities throughout their portfolio of buildings. So one workflow called rapid energy modeling, again, enables owners to take digital photographs of their portfolio of buildings, and we did this for 6 of our buildings at Autodesk, and these can be stitched together to create basic 3D models from the digital photographs, which then is enough information to use and leverage the energy analysis capabilities to understand where you have the biggest opportunities from an energy efficiency perspective, from a renewable perspective, or which buildings are your most carbon intensive. So it gives all these, beyond just professionals, but now building owners, access to information, and it visualizes that information so that they can quickly make decisions. And this particular workflow I'm talking about is a matter of a couple days to take digital photographs of buildings, stitch them together, create a 3D model, and get the information you need to make better decisions. Yeah, so I talked about how we went from professional customers to building owners, but now what you're seeing is tools that are available to quite literally everyone. So Sketchbook Mobile is an app that we have on the iPhone and iPad that now has been downloaded by 5 million consumers. These are not necessarily professionals in the space. In fact, my 2 children, 5 and 8, love this tool, and it's basically a drawing tool. But there's all sorts of different features that professional drawers and beginning drawers can draw while they're waiting in line or waiting for their food to be served at a restaurant. It just unleashes this creativity at your fingertips wherever you are. And it's not just drawing. I mean, Tinkerbox is another one of our technologies, now downloaded by 1 million users, and it's all geared toward understanding and teaching engineering. So it makes physics and engineering fun and exciting for literally a 5-year-old all the way up through all of us. A new generation, and also just a wider base of people who like making things. You're probably aware of the Maker Faire and that whole movement in the Bay Area this weekend where 90,000 makers, this whole DIY movement, are coming together to make things. And so one of the latest tools that we released just this week is called 123D. I don't know if you've even heard of that. It's basically a tool that enables anyone to build a 3D model. I mean, someone like me with no technical knowledge, and then explore that design in the digital environment, print it out, send it off to have it made. I mean, it's just bringing this design experience to everyone. And even Homestyler. Homestyler is a tool that enables people to redesign parts of their homes and choose which cabinets they want or which paint they want on the wall and instantly be able to visualize how that looks. We have a big partnership with Tech Shop, which is basically, it's like having a gym membership for all these makers who want to have access to a type of facility where they can just go and make things. So it's a really exciting movement for us, and it opens our business up to just a wider group of people who are trying to imagine, design, and create a better world. We fully realize that providing the best technologies and the best tools is only the first part of the challenge. Our challenge going forward, and where my team is really focused, is on the education. So educating people, students, professionals, consumers, about how to design more sustainably. And so what we have now is an online portal called the Sustainability Workshop, which was the Fast Company's most innovative approaches to education, where we have served up bite-sized pieces of information about everything like lightweighting or life cycle thinking or design for end of life and durability. And we've tried to make this content, first of all, easy and accessible, so 5 minutes, but also really fun. So the main character in this learning platform is someone called Mr. Imagination, and he's educating people about the very basics of this. And we have our work cut out for us in terms of getting people to use the tools in a new way and to understand the environmental impact so that they really can make the best decisions going forward.